think, it's so hard to keep training in the art for years and years and years, and sometimes you ask yourself, why are you still in it? And I know one of the reasons, I have a few reasons, but one of the reasons I'm still in it is because of people like Juan that have their heart truly in the art and that are lifelong dedicated people. And I think to myself, I'm going to go to class, maybe I should go play pool or maybe catch a movie, and maybe Juan will be up there. So I go up there and I spend 2 hours at the studio and talk to Juan for 10 minutes, and I count it as worth it going up. And only train for 20 minutes, talk to Juan for 10, the rest of the time I sit there and just watch class. I think all of you should take some of the things that Juan said, especially concerning these sessions that you're having here, and you should encourage other people that you know at the classes, the studios that you all come from, to encourage them to attend these, because you can learn in the studio, which is good, your instructor's doing the best that he can. But like you're in a family, when you go out to other people's houses and go to school, you learn a lot because you get exposed to more, okay? So come into these, you get the experience from the different people that have been where you haven't been, okay? I got my yellow belt 29 years ago from Frank Wilson, okay? And I was on top of the world, of course, when I got my little card, and I still got my little card, okay? August of 1968, right? So being a yellow belt in Kung Fu, and we worked out, today I say we worked out like karate, but we had a lot more fluidity to us. Because when I went to Jimmy's, you remember Bill, I made Bill's nose bloody, almost got in a fight with Xavier, Wall's brother, because of the way I trained. I trained just hard, locked hard, hit hard. I had no finesse, okay? And Jimmy, with his great teaching ability, could see what I needed, but he didn't come right out and tell me. Basically put me with the people that would be the most patient with me. And he put the training to me in a way that wasn't direct, but it was a better way because it was indirect. The child comes in and says, I want to touch the stove. I say, I wouldn't advise that. And walk away. Instead of saying, don't ever touch that stove, it's going to burn you. And the kid never learns. Right? You keep telling him, no, walk away, let him touch the stove. He learns. I wouldn't advise that. Then those little life words mean a lot more than when you have the actual experience. So it's the idea that we have to group together, and we are, in one sense, like a family, okay? And though there's differences in the studios, there's differences in the teachers, there's differences in how we work out, not all of you have the opportunity to train directly under Master Wu. Some of you have the opportunity to meet him and perhaps have some time with him. But I've been with him since '72 until his passing, and all those years I'm going to try to present some of the things that he presented to me. I think the best I can do for you today is with my expertise lies in exercising and strength and how to block hard and how to fight in a relaxed manner. Some of the things I learned from Tim. Some of the things I... I think the belief in yourself is the #1 issue. To believe in yourself, you've got to know who you're believing in. You've got to say, who am I? Okay? Well, who you are, there's many ways to try to find that out. But since we're all in Kung Fu, let's stick on that path. When you're in the studio and working out with each other, you are a team. The opponent coming at you is the opponent. And then you're the opponent going at him. Now, back and forth, you're going to work out this way in a fluidity manner, a flow, okay? With the idea in your mind, you're doing your best you can on this guy. He's doing his best he can on you. But you got to realize there's got to be some humbleness there. You've got to realize you're going to make mistakes. You've got to realize that when you work one-on-one, you have no reason to want to give this guy any credit at all to himself. Don't think, like, if I make a mistake, what's he going to think? Don't think that. Don't give one darn about what he thinks about what you're doing. What you're doing is what you're doing. Doesn't matter what his opinion of it is. Okay? But you're going to be a good man to him. You have to be a good man to him. I come at him, my mind's on him. I'm being compassionate by throwing a punch at him, believe it or not, or throwing a kick at him, or trying to grab him. I care about how good you get in the art. I react for you. I'm not competing with you. Okay? I'm not trying to show you I'm better than you. But I definitely don't want to go fast. Then you guys are working out fast. You're making the biggest mistake of all. You're working on developing what I call the false ego. Okay? And in San Soo, I think there's probably 2 rivers. There's the river of Kung Fu that is based upon a slower approach to the end result, and that's on a faster speed, which I don't think has a real end to it. It's the old saying, he who takes longer strides is not necessarily walk faster. So the idea in training is you're learning about yourself, the development of your human character. Actually, not the development, but the releasing of it, the shining of it, the taking off of the old garments to let your true self shine. And by the interaction of a workout, and by your ability to help others, your ability to learn, your determination to keep training, your discipline you develop through that, all of that helps you find yourself. Okay? And you get more into that area, studying those particular works by the greats that have passed to give you some more information, get it more in depth. Okay? But since you're working with what we call the first instrument, that is your body, being directed by your mind, this conscious mind and the subconscious mind, okay, you're able to develop yourself at a higher plane. You're a healthier individual, you're a more determined individual, you have a clearer mind because you're not at stress in your mind. You're at peace in your mind because you feel good, you sleep good, you're more interested in your health, okay? You're more interested in protecting your health. You're more interested in trying to understand what are these emotions that come within us. All that helps you, in a sense, find yourself. And once you get on that path, just a little bit, you start wanting more. And I can't sit here and give you all the answers of the world, or why do we exist type thing, but you, in a sense, will start on that path and continue on that path, okay? Path of truth, the path of understanding, all the other areas that involve you as an individual. Now, if you don't find out who you are, then you're never going to be happy with what you are. You've got to have a reason for what you're doing, where you're going, why you're where you're at. And you look in the past, and all the things you did in the past put you where you are. What you're thinking about now is going to put you where you're going to be in the future. That now is an elusive thing because it's always flying away from you. Okay? And another good thing about Kung Fu is it gets you into what I like to call the innocence of the moment. That is when you're training. You're nowhere else but right there. And if you're not right there, you're going to get hit because you're not paying attention. Okay? So this is something a lot of people miss. You see them driving down the freeway or going to the show. As soon as the the movie's over, they're out of their seat and out the door before they even look at the credits. Before they even sit there and feel the essence of the movie, they're already on to something else, onto this. They're bouncing around, being way away from themselves. Their mind's over there and their body's here. They're separated. You all realize this, you in Kung Fu, you're much more connected. Okay? You have to be because of the way you train and how you apply yourself. You're on a path of which is self-discovery, which can be compared to many things. Because it's such a good investment of your time. You're not only learning to be connected, you're a healthier individual. You're more confident in yourself. You can handle yourself in most situations of violence. You're able to learn how to avoid it, how to walk away from it, knowing you're going on a yellow streak down your back. So you have a lot of things to collect from that little self-discovery of doing Kung Fu San Soo. So with the interaction that you get with each other, the friends that you make, like life friends of Brian Taylor and Brian Egan, two of my good buddies I hung with, I still hang with, it's been like probably 20 years now. And I've never been to Brian's house, but I know his wife. But it's funny, we always spend our time together around the studio or at the studio, pretty much where we have our own life. But we're still the closest of buds and we'll do anything for each other. Always there if one needs the other. And it's good to see all of you, hopefully all of you, can make good friendships with your fellow mates in the studio as you move along. So I'll get on to Jimmy Woo. Daryl and I call Jimmy the Woo, the main man, the teacher of teachers. He told me once, he told me, he told the class, I'm sure at the same time, I think he's talking to me. You always do when he's talking. If you're looking over here talking, you think he's talking to me. He's saying that because I didn't do that right. You get that feeling. But Jimmy was talking about fighting and how he has been a man on the wrong path most of his life. Like Juan was saying, he kept fighting until he's, 48 years old. He said it this way. He said it's really easy to be bad, but it's hard to be good. Okay? And you take that in your own life and see the things that whatever you did that you consider, say, bad or wrong were, in a sense, easy to do, but much harder to live with. Okay? But again, if you add to that, Jimmy always said to let it go. Don't carry it around. It's like you have a backpack, and all the bad things you did, you throw it back there, and pretty soon you're walking around like this. And you see people in their life that do that, and they carry the load in their heart and on their mind. They can't sleep right. They don't feel right. What's done is done. What's gone is gone. Jimmy compared it to like a cup of tea. You have a cup of tea there, and you leave it too long and come back, it's going to be cold. Therefore, it's not the same anymore, is it? Right. So heat the cup of tea back up again or get rid of it. So you all have to take every experience you get. We talk about fighting. When you have an encounter with somebody, and I say this and I say that, and then I leave, and later I go, damn, why did I do this? Why did I say that? Well, you could have, but you didn't. What you did was you said you did exactly what you should have said and did for where you're at. And so you don't slap yourself in the head or kick yourself in the butt and say, well, I should have did this or that. You did what you did. But next time, I think I might add this to that, if that happens. But it's like a fight. You can never train to fight somebody the way that person fights, because it's not like a boxing match. It's not like jiu-jitsu. If you go into a ring and fight somebody, you know how he fights, you see him on tape. The real world isn't like that. Sorry. You're going to fight somebody you never fought before. You have no idea how good they are. They could be twice as good a fighter as you. But if you use the elements of Kung Fu San Soo correctly, there's no doubt you should win. Jimmy used that phrase, no doubt in my mind. And you've got to have that in your mind, no doubt in your mind, because you know yourself, you believe in yourself, okay? And if you apply yourself correctly, using the principles of war, okay? This is war we're talking about when you fight somebody. You're going to get your butt kicked, or you're going to kick his. And you don't go in there thinking about what he's going to do to you. You think about what you're going to do to him. And if he beats you up, you still didn't lose the fight. I remember when Jimmy said that, I go, wait a minute, well, how's that? How you get your butt kicked, you don't lose the fight. I like that one, but how you figure that out? Well, the way you figure it out is inside yourself. You never lose face with yourself. There's been a few mornings I've gotten up, looked myself in the mirror with this eye all swollen shut, my lip all puffed up, my nose twisted, but I did not lose the fight. It may look like I did, but I didn't. But the guy didn't beat me up either. It was a close match. But the idea of the fight that Jimmy's talking about getting beat up and not losing a fight, is that you have not lost face to yourself. You did your best, and that is that. So how can you say you lost the fight? He did not take what was inside of you out. He did not dig it out of your heart that you're worthless, you're this. He didn't. Physically, he beat you. Better day for him. He hit you in the right spot quicker than you could hit him in the right spot. Your body went down, but your mind was still determined. And when you opened your eyes, if he was still there, you probably would have got up throwing punches at him, right or wrong. You feel that way, then you can believe that you could never lose a fight. If ever you think in your mind you're going to go out in the world and you go, God, I don't want to lose a fight. I feel like I'm so good, I couldn't face myself. After all these years of training, if I lose a fight, I couldn't face myself. Wow, you better get ready. You better talk to yourself in the mirror and prepare yourself to lose. And if you do lose, you're ready for it. And it can happen. I guarantee you there's 1,000 guys on this planet that could beat up anybody in this room, except one. But here's the idea that, sure, there's 1,000 guys. Let's say there's 1,000 guys that can take this gentleman here 7 foot, okay? Okay, now he believes in himself. He thinks he's a good fighter. So he goes out there. Okay, all 1,000 guys are better than him. All 1,000 guys take him, right? Then he goes back to class, he starts working out, he picks up a little philosophy. Say Jimmy happens to be in the studio. He says, you don't forget this. And he said this to us once too. He goes, I never believe if somebody walk up and say, hey, you a pretty good fighter? I say, no, I'm not pretty good. I'm real good. And you add that in your head. You're real good. Who else is going to believe in you but you? Who else is going to fight that person but you? Who else is going to get their ass kicked but you? Well, and then you got it, okay? How much percentage do you put in that fight? I don't believe in the 110 thing. 100 is good enough. You're at the top of the ladder right there. Put everything you got into it. Then he goes back and he fights these 1,000 guys. Then I guarantee you he'll beat half of them. And the other half, of course, being they're a better fighter, they have the advantage because of the odds and numerical odds, of course. But he'll beat more than half of them because now he doesn't think he's pretty good. He knows he's real good. And that's the key in your mind. You've got to click that on. You've got to believe it. Now, all these things you hear, you read, when you hear people talk to you and say, you've got to see what's for you. Like Juan was saying earlier, shopping. You take what I take what I like, what I don't like, what I not I said I don't like. What I don't feels for me, I put it over here because I'll use it later. I do not want to be judgmental about any part of San Soo. And if I'm talking about somebody who's in the art that's on this other path, going too fast or being too flashy, I'm not judgmental on them. If I'm a Kung Fu man like they are, I can talk about them if I want. I don't say bad things about him. I just say what I say I see. Okay? And then again, I always follow it up with, he's a good man. And I think a lot of him. Okay? But I'm talking to someone to make a point. I'll make my point in my way. I don't feel like I'm being judgmental. I don't want to feel like I'm talking behind your back. Okay? If I say anything is bad, I will say it right to the face. Jimmy say, never go to the back door of the guy's house you want to tell him something. You go to his front door, right up to his face, and tell him what you feel. You're at work, you work in some of these places where they work, where they got this day and age, I don't do this, I have a whole different life. When you work in a computer office or whatever, where there's a lot of, I call it tightness in the office, and people start saying funny little things. They use these words, they use little phrases that could be meant, it's an ambiguous statement, could be meant 20 different ways. If that happens to you, and somebody's playing those games on you, you say, hey, excuse me, he turns around, tell me what you said. And looking right in the eye, and you demand an answer to exactly what did he mean by what he said. And don't let him say something and walk away. Let her say something and walk away. Then it's going to eat at you, and it's going to keep getting bigger. It's going to confuse you. You're going to lose faith in yourself. It's not worth it. It's worth it better to turn around. Then you get that experience again. You walk away. I should have said this. I should have done that. Do it right now. Okay, right now, when you feel it, say it. And then the next time that happens, that's the way you are. Now you start going, hey, I feel like I'm waking up. I feel like I'm getting older. Stuff is pretty good. It's hard to get out of bed in the morning. I mean, I can't eat the same food, but it's getting better getting older. I start using my head a little better, okay? I start applying myself the way I feel best. Okay, so what Jimmy taught me was what I just mentioned to you, respect for myself, and to try to keep trying to become more of a balanced man. It's hard for a balanced man because the disadvantage with Kung Fu San Soo, if there is one, is that it makes you feel too invincible about yourself. It makes your head a little bit big. And I think all of us have to go through that stage. I went through that stage when I was a brown belt. A brown belt in Kung Fu San Soo. I lived in Bell Gardens. Everybody knows Bell Gardens. It's a very tough town. I lived there for 5 years. A lot of trouble, a lot of stories. But anyway, I figured this way. I felt a little bit like Dave Carter. If I wear a cup and I wear a protection on my solar plex, nobody can hurt me. Because those are the main two targets we hit all the time, right? I figured I'll go anywhere and nobody can beat me up. Well, that was my head. And then a little later, when I got my black belt, I really felt invincible. And the teacher was showing a technique. If an opponent has you on the ground, he's got you by the throat and he's getting ready to hit you, right? And I'm kind of half listening to one side of my brain because I'm thinking, who's going to be there? But in Bell Gardens, you've got to carry an attitude like that to survive. It has to be a little cocky. You're not going to make it. So it wasn't a week later. I'm playing baseball on the street with kids. These guys come by and honk their horn. I say, hey, what the hell are you doing? Honk your horn. Why don't you go around? And the guy does the little birdie, and he goes over here, and I go, I'll be right with you. I tell the kids to get out on the street, and I walk down. There's two guys get out. My buddy Ray comes running down. So I fight the one guy. So we're fighting away. And sure enough, he gets me on the ground and has my shirt ready. And I go, ding! I reach up, grab him by the shirt, spin him off, stand up, and knee him in the face, and that's exactly what I did, and that was done. But see, that's the thing. I'm talking about filing this over here. I don't need that. No, you file it and go, well, this I like. This I'll have to consider later. Okay? But that stuff you consider later, you have to ask your teacher about it. Really think it out to see exactly what can you get out of that. The Japanese put together trash and make bricks out of them, build buildings, right? How come we can't get something out of that? Every piece of San Soo has something in there for someone, not necessarily everything for you. But you cannot be judgmental about any one piece of it. How are you going to say, that's worthless, but 99% of it's okay? Where's the strength in that? Okay? Either you believe or you don't believe. There's no 50-50 there. And in most things, you got to say yes or you say no. There's no stuttering in Kung Fu. I'm going to fight you. I say, get the hell out of here. I'm out of here. I forget you. I walk away. I don't remember you no more. You're done. Jimmy used to do that. So, well, I got time right now. How about an hour? No, how about tomorrow at the same time? He would go. Anything you can do to avoid trouble is much better than jumping into it. Because this person does not have the right to ask you to fight him. Who the hell does he think he is? He doesn't know you. He doesn't run your life. He wants to look at you. He wants to do this. He wants to do that. The hell with him. Now, you have to find out, how do I handle the situation? Well, the best way to learn is to do it. So when it happens, be happy it happened, and you walk away. As mad as you might be at yourself for not saying what you should have said, not doing what you should have done, but you get what is best of all is you get experience. And there's no other way but experience. Okay, Jimmy was a funny guy. He was always a good attitude. Always a good attitude. Sharp mind. And I don't know. I don't like to start talking about him too much. I get all tightened up. Let me tell you a story about Kenny Parton. Kenny Parton started teaching me Kung Fu San Soo in front of the Hessian's bikeway in 1966. Tarpon there. You know some of the guys? Those are the guys I kind of hung with. I had fun with them. I wasn't a member of the club, but some of them were kind of goofy and wild like I was, so we got along good. But Kenny was trying to introduce me to Kung Fu San Soo and the blocks and some of the holes in the back and turning your arm and whatnot, and some of these old techniques. Got me interested into it, so then eventually I found the studio he was trained at was Frank Woolsey's studio, and I went over there and trained with Frank for 5 years. Okay. Well, in the 4th year of my training was in Downey on Firestone and Firestone Boulevard, I think it was, by the theater. Back where David Gonzalez's studio was there for a while, right across the street later. Anyway, in the 4th year, this little short Chinese guy came in. He was walking down with Frank, and I wondered, who's that little guy? Talking to Frank, I don't know. So later I found out it was Jimmy, and that was his teacher. And I go, Frank had a teacher? I'm thinking Frank Woolsey, just Mr. Awesome, Mr. Tough guy, and I couldn't believe that he had a teacher above him. So it was about a year later, that's my 4th year at Frank's, I started teaching down in Huntington Beach, and then in the 5th year is when I got my 2nd degree, and I had Sam Silva. So I come to my house in Downey and show me form, and he showed me the flying kick I never saw before. I go, wow, and all these leverages. And then I started teaching some of this in the studio, and people started kind of changing the studio, doing all this other fancier stuff they called it. Anyway, I eventually had to leave. So I went up to Jimmy's and started taking lessons and opened my own studio in Westminster, California, '72, and been teaching all these kinds of since. But Jimmy presented me with a lot of strengths and a lot of calming myself down and getting redirected and trying to be a good person. And he would tell stories and he would talk about little things that didn't seem to mean a lot at the moment, but later you start thinking about them and you see yourself doing and thinking and acting that out. And Jimmy was, it's so hard to try to describe the man, except as one of the most unique people I've ever met. One of the ones that had the strongest influence in my life. And I think the strongest influence on the United States as far as I'm concerned, because of the people that he has influenced are going to continue teaching this art, and this art is going to do so much good for so many people. And like he said, someday you're going to see Kung Fu coast to coast, and that's for sure going to happen. He was a prophet, if ever there was one, to foresee the future of what was going to happen. Why he teach Kung Fu San Soo, I believe, was maybe partially contributed to all those years of being the bad guy, being the tough guy, getting in fights for no reason. I think maybe he wanted to try to turn that around and try to do some good. And when you get older, you start doing that. And I think that's one of the reasons, in my opinion, one of the contributing causes of why he started teaching Kung Fu San Soo to Caucasians, was to try to help people become better. Okay, and that's what the art's about. There's no competition. Okay, the competing you're doing is the competition is with yourself. Okay, will you get your butt up and go to class? Will you keep up the consistency of training? That's discipline right there. How do you want to become the best if you don't put in the time? If you don't put the elbow grease in, how do you expect to be the best? And the best is always elusive because you always get better. Always get better. But Jimmy would, when he presented himself in class with such an aura of power and strength, and a very professional speaker, he was. He always had a twinkle in his eye, and whenever it was time for technique, he would change in a sense. He'd say, okay, technique. And he got serious then, and he would apply it that way. And the same way he told us in training, he says, when you train, salute, my mind's focused now. This me, this representing China, or the many, I have a few. I'm going to focus my mind, I'm going to work out. I take this serious. You make a move on me, I'm not going to blink, I'm going to watch everything. You move, I'm going to take you the best I can. I'm going to try different things. I don't want to go fast because I can't think clear if I go fast. I feel like I'm pressuring myself into a fight. I'm of course going to look good. I want to keep doing the same things I did 10 years ago. Jimmy always brought that up. You've been doing that technique for 10 years. Let's try something new. Because you go too fast. And we all do that. And we all can all be guilty of that. We've got to slow ourselves down. And it takes self-control. You got to work with each other. Hey, we're a little fast. Oh, let me slow down. Yeah, you're right. Let's slow down. Okay, let me slow down. We're slow. But I'm not against a fast workout. Don't get me wrong. I think a fast workout should be done. But you should warm up to it and then just dive in like you're actually in a fight. A good solid 10-minute hard workout is good. But you don't want to do that all the time because you're never going to really get good. Hitting somebody like the guy who is advertising in the paper, I hit him 10 times in 1 second, he's got to be full of it. How can anybody hit anybody 10 times in 1 second unless 10 guys hit the same guy at the same time? It can't be done. So why do you want to hit somebody 10 times? Why don't you want to hit him just once? You know, you want to, move like a butterfly, sting like a bee. I'd rather move like the wind and hit like the Hulk. Okay? You go in and smack somebody, you want the fight over, quick as you can. The longer you fight, the longer this guy's going to be able to hurt you. Okay? A fight, all the fights I've been in Kung Fu, most of them were in Bell Gardens and one in Paramount, 2 seconds, it was over. There was no ifs or buts about it. Boom, 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 it was over. I'm going to lose my path. Let me get back to Kenny Parton now. He was teaching me in front of the Eschner's house, and started being interested in Kung Fu. When I started going to class, I started becoming a better person. I stopped running around with these guys, and went on anyway to train. But Kenny, is about 6 months later, I lived right on Valley Boulevard, right is Florence Avenue. There's a hamburger stand here. I live right on the main street. Okay, my house was right in front. There was a bar right across the street. It was a small bar, and there was about 8 people in this bar one night. Now Kenny had a heart of gold. Really good guy. I consider him one of the best fighters in Bell Gardens. Ronnie Sucre was the other guy supposed to be a better fighter. Who's here from Bell Gardens? You say you was?
My wife was born there.
Oh, so you've been there a while, huh?
Yeah.
Well, this was back in the 60s, late 60s. Anyway, so an Indian guy was in there, and he was drinking, and I guess the two of those other guys, but I don't know. Anyway, he pulls out a gun, he fires a shot in the air, and told everybody to get the hell out of it. So everybody got the hell out of it. So Kenny wanted to try to calm things down. He was concerned about the bartender, right? So he goes around in the back, and he goes in there, and he got this guy, this Indian guy, in a full Nelson. Well, the bartender jumps over the counter, picks up a chair, and hits Kenny over the head, knocks Kenny down. The Indian guy turns around and shoots him right here, into his head, and put the bullet back on his cervical bone, lodged it on the spinal cord. Then he shot again, the gun jammed, right? So they pick him up, they take him outside and throw him in the trash can. They think he's dead. Then the police come. Kenny's crawling out of the trash can as the police pull up, his shotgun is drawn. And he can't talk because his jaw's broken, because a bullet right through here, right through his head. They think he's the guy that was with the gun in there, and they almost shot him. Finally, they get him out of there. The Indian guy who goes to jail, he's a convict on parole with a gun, right? So he's in jail for like 3 months as all this is going on. He gets released, time served. That was that. Kenny, his eye swells up 3 times the size of this. He can't hardly walk right. He moved to Utah, and last I heard of him, he was a lot the same. So there's a live experience for you of a man trying to do something good, but the situation wasn't what he thought it was. How you would expect the guy behind is going to be this guy. He's trying to rescue the bartender, and the bartender was the one that caused him almost to kill. Well, did pretty much to kill his life, you might say. But anyway, Kenny, I saw Kenny get in a fight once. I don't know if anybody remembers this. This is a place called The City, and a lot of Peter Fonda used to go there. It was a 5-story building, a lot of other party people. It was a building and a big round center in it. I went there on a Saturday night I'd never been there before. I went there to see what was going on, and Kenny was going to go there that night. He didn't know that his wife was there with this other man, and I got a chance to see him fight anyway from the 4th story. But it was an advantage. It was one advantage of the whole thing. Anyway, him and his wife got back together after that, and they got on the path right. But watching Kenny fight, he walks in there. He walks up to the guy. He says, "We're coming downstairs." I says, "Hey, Kenny, I'm sorry. There's nothing going on. It was just a friendship thing. It was downstairs." He walks him downstairs, walks out. He goes, "Put your dukes up." He says, "I can't fight you, Kenny. Put your arms up." He puts them up, and Kenny just starts pounding him in the face. Boom! Knocks him down. He says, "You okay?" He says, "Yeah." He says, "Don't see my wife again." Then he leaves. Well, that was Kenny Parton. he was a fantastic person, really good heart. Okay, wanted to talk to you about power. Okay, and all of you, part of my speech today was supposed to be on the essence and purpose of Kung Fu, and maybe I can go back into that again, but I think it covered a little bit, but it at least give you a light insight into it. And all of you have had quite a long day, so I don't want to stretch this out too long. I'd like to do a few physical things with you, maybe to loosen you up a little bit. Okay. But the idea, if you want to learn to hit hard, you've got to learn the difference between limp and relax and tense. Okay. And all you want to do is find the middle, okay, which is relax, okay? Relax is not limp, and don't think it's not. When you're going to hit somebody with your fist, you don't want a fist like that, nor do you want one like a rodeo guy hanging on to the stirrups there that's going to keep the horse from going off. What you want is a fist that's closed and firm, okay, which in a sense would be relaxed. Now when you hit somebody with that fist, what hits him? Is it just the fist? Okay, the fist is the end result that hits him, but what makes that fist hit hard? It has to come all the way down from the earth, from gravity. Now if I have a stick sitting here and I hold it up and I let go of it, it's probably going to fall, right? Because the gravity's pulling on it, it's going to start to tilt and then it's going to fall. But basically it'll stand straight up first because straight up is gravity. I'll give you a few little ideas on that. If you practice these, if you don't, you won't get it. But this is a very, very light introduction to this. But the Chinese say to think like you have a glass of water on your head, you've got a chain around your neck with a glass of water. Okay, this doesn't work on flying kicks now. You're spilling water. But whenever you move, you think about that kind of action. Whenever you move, you don't want to spill that water, and you keep yourself erect. There's nothing wrong with getting out of the way and moving if you have to. If you have to throw a punch, it ain't the most powerful one, but it's the best you can do at the moment. That's not wrong, but it's what you had to do. Referring back to what Juan was saying about the 3 different ways to punch. Exactly right. You don't know which one you're ever going to do, and you can't be perfect. You should never expect yourself to be. But the best one would be to set and hit the guy pretty much the same time would be the best way. But it doesn't always happen that way. It's not always picture perfect. But the idea of being centered, how you get this, is not really through workout. Okay? Through workout is how you're applying yourself from the homework that you did. What's your homework? Your homework is the posturing that you do, the forms that you do, okay? Where your mind is focused when you're doing this. And then when you work out, that becomes second nature because your conscious mind is putting it back in to the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind doesn't make mistakes. It only knows what it's told to do, and then it does that 100%. So you have faith in that, okay? Then when you work out, you can apply these motions, okay? These movements that do create power. A couple of the exercises are, according to the Chinese now, you have what they call chi gates, your shoulders and your hips. This is where your energy gets blocked, okay? And there's 3 simple exercises that teach you to release and break down the so-called debris in here so your energy can flow. At the same time, they teach you to stand upright, and you practice it. These are all fighting moves in a sense. You're learning to throw a roundhouse move, okay? You're a roundhouse slap, or whatever it is. Or you're learning to block up and hit down, okay? Or block down and strike forward. You're still lined up, okay? Now the exercises, there's 3 of them, and would you like to run?
Yeah, sure, yes.
Okay. Well, let's stand up right here. And it'll give you some energy, so you'll be refreshed.
Yes, sir.
Do that right now.
Oh, we're running pretty low, huh? 2.
Okay, first thing you have to do is support your body correctly by having your feet.
Yeah. Okay.
Now,
thanks.
when you stand, gravity, remember, is going this way. So for you to become, as the internal people talk about, like a rubber band, if I have a rubber band like this and I shake it, it's very limp, right? How do I make it have a little bit of spring to it as I pull on the bottom? Now, boing, it's got that spring to it. That's the kind of spring you want when you hit, when you hammer, when you kick, whatever it is, it has to have that spring. If you don't, your body's just moving, but it's not moving as good as it could. It's not hitting as hard as it really could. You got to remember, before I start this, any real martial art, and there's many of them that are considered real martial arts. Maybe out of 100 martial arts in the world, probably 10 are real and 90 are just there. But if they're a real martial art, they should be able to teach you how to hit harder than you actually can, okay, in an effortless manner, all right? A true martial art teaches you how to handle somebody who may be 2 to 3 times stronger than you. That is a real martial art. Now the advantage Kung Fu San Soo has is it teaches you that because of so many leverages and we move so much and we're popping the guy at the right angles. That's power, okay? But the person doing all that can do it. But if you want to do it better, then you've got to learn how to use the earth in your posture, and then you'll apply yourself better, okay? Come here. I'm going to show you a little simple push here, give you a reflection of this. If I walk up and push him in a relaxed manner now, I'm not going to hit him hard, I'm going to push relaxed. Okay? And that's relaxed. Now what's the idea on this? I'm not doing this. That's with my arm. What do I hit him with? I hit him with the earth and my body is being aligned. Okay? I'm not straining. I'm not going beyond my center because I'm out of balance. Okay? And that's the key. And you hit like that too. See, and you turn your body into it and you hit like that same way. You're straight and you turn. And you can hit real hard. Because you don't hit the surface, so you hit through his spine. You hit through his body. And this punch can hurt him, right? It's not the idea, all of you can hit hard. But in a sense, when you do it right and you hit hard, it sends like shock waves inside the body. It hurts different. It doesn't just hurt the surface or a few inches in. It hits deep. And it feels like you've gotten shocked, almost like an earthquake through your stomach. Okay, so when you do, now these are real simple. They just take a few minutes. If you guys do these in the morning or do them before you train or before you do form, I guarantee you're going to get an awful lot out of it, okay? And in the next seminar we have, maybe I can get invited down to teach you a lot more of these, okay? And it's better to learn hand-on-hand with somebody who's been doing it for a while. I learned directly from Tim on these, so I can pass them on to you the best way I can, but maybe would have an interest in that department. Okay, our feet are square. Now we got to think about this point of our head here, as if like there's a string with a little balloon on it, gently lifting your head up. So you get that separation of your spine, where your head's going up, and your feet are going down, and we have that little band thing, okay? Now after we stand on our bones for about a minute or so, we get lined up, and have your hands by your side. Open your hands up, and then let them go. You feel that helps a little bit? If you stand here long enough, you guys are going to get a lot of tension out of your neck, and your shoulder starts to drop because the weight of your arms is gently pulling down as you are consciously lifting up, okay? You start to feel it, okay? Okay, now feel the weights on your heels a bit more than it is on the balls of the feet. But your foot is all spread out that way. Okay. Okay, now we bend our knees. Okay. Now we're going to do this. Okay. Now see, if we do it, let's do it this way. What? This is limp. That's limp. Okay. And this is tense. Now do both of them and find the one right in the middle where your arms will gently slap your body. Okay. I have you guys practice some hitting in a few minutes here and let you feel how this generates power. Okay, relax. Let your arm swing more. There, feel it? Do we have a pad here? Not too bad.
We had some over here.
We got Jan.
Jeff, you could do the pad. You could do the pad. You could volunteer for the pad.
Oh, thanks.
Doing everything else.
Huh? Yeah, a little focus pad. Oh, okay, all right, that's great. Okay. Okay, now see what we're doing here. You're on your 2 feet. This is the best way to practice. But see, in fighting, you won't be standing like this, right? Okay. So when you step in and you hit somebody, see the same thing happens? What's happening here is our body's turning and our hips are gently following. The hip kind of guides it, and then the torso takes off on its own, and it ends with the arm. That's your power. The hip guides it. The power in any punch you guys throw or any push you do, the push I did to him, doesn't come from the front. It comes from the back. You got to understand that. The front's more like the looks, I think, and the back's where your power comes from. So if you imagine if you're standing here and you go to hit somebody, you can see that the power is coming from the back. The spine, 2 shoulders, and they're turning. And the spine's lined up with gravity, and that arm comes flying out, guided by the hip. And you see how hard you can really hit. Okay? So whenever you're going form and you step up and you do, say, a palm, see? The hip didn't do this. It went to a certain point and stopped, then the torso turned and the hand struck. So when you go over here, this is more of the yang side, the tighter side. Okay? But still the same principle. From here down, I'm very stationary. Very, very minimal movement right here. Very, very minimal. and then it's more up. Exactly what you're doing here. You're reinforcing that natural way to hit hard. Okay? You're doing the same thing.
Hey Ted, what do you mean by the yang side? You know, the opposite of a
Well, I
point?
don't like to overuse it. Yin and yang, you know, the yin soft, light, and then the yang is the male, dark. So when you step forward, you have the lighter open, and then the tighter closed. Okay.
Oh.
Come here, man. Okay, here's you guys can practice on this thing. You have somebody hold this for you, and you can practice this swing and sit. You hold it again. Right. Now he holds, and I'm going to practice hitting. Okay. When I get my position set. Okay? What I'm thinking about is not how hard I'm hitting it. I'm thinking about being centered and turning so I can really sense it. Then if I step, I get that feeling much better because I'm anchored even more because of my stance. But when you get to here, you have to try harder to do it right. Here, you can cheat too much. See? That's why you practice with your feet together. And again, when he's holding it, when I start doing it, I don't hit it hard as I can. I hit it about, say, 1/4. I'm feeling myself straight, my spine turning. I hit a little harder each time. You can see I'm relaxed. You slap somebody like that, I think it hurts. Okay? You see the idea? Okay. So what else we're doing here? We're breaking down any blockage of our energy flow, okay? Which whether you believe in that or not, millions of people do, but we're doing that also. But what we're doing also, this is an exercise taken from what's called True Balance. Maybe some of you got those tapes on from Jim. This is real good for your back. Okay, real good for your back and your neck and your shoulder region where you get headaches and tension from. Just pulls. Your arm goes out, it pulls gently on the muscle. You're doing yourself a lot of good. Okay. Okay, and the next one, that's horizontal striking. The next one we're going to do is vertical striking. Okay, and that is done two different ways. One very difficult way and one very simple way. I'll show them both to you. You can play with them. The simple way is to, you're going to swing your arm. It's like a wave. It goes like this. Okay? And what's happening, so you think about lifting this up first, and then you drop your elbow. Okay? What's the mistake on this is trying to do it sectionally. This is not right. That's sectional. See how I break it? You break it right, and you don't want that. What you want is a wave. It's like this. And you start like this. You start soft. So you make sure you understand the joints, the wrist, the elbow, and the shoulder. You go a little higher each time. Now see, you're getting started right, and you won't do it wrong by going too fast or quick. Let them fall with gravity. Let them fall with gravity. They fall very hard. Okay? And you're bringing them up past your head because that's what you're doing. You're protecting yourself. Easy, guys. If I do this to Artie, if he throws me a left punch, okay, that'd be the move. In slow motion, we're here. 1, 2. I can stack him anywhere I want with this hand. Okay? But the block is this. Boom. My hand's right here next to his face. I can hit him a hell of a lot quicker than he can do with his right. But it's that move. It's that block. Okay? Very effective. When you step on a on a guy like that, of course you want a hand down for a kick or for the other hand, and you can do all these combinations, but that's a good move right there. All based on this one. Okay? Get this right again. Start slow. Now remember, think of your feet. It's okay for your hips to move, but try to let your head move because the head's the other end of your anatomy. You want to make sure it's going up and it's stationary, okay? Go higher. There. Go. It's great. Let him fall. Let him fall. Let it fall. Do it. Don't make it sensitive. Come on. You missed that. There you go. Let it fall. Good. Let it fall. Real good. All right. Okay. Yeah, the same thing is true on that one. You know, if there's any some more noise for you, the noise will stick in your mind. You do the same thing when you guys practice this one. When he holds it this way, I'm going to practice my down here. Okay? He can sense, being experienced, can sense that I'm hitting hard, and he can feel it through this thing. Okay, if you don't hit hard, he can feel it. If I stand here and I go, he feels my body's not there. My arm's doing good, but when my body's there, it hits different. And I'm not straining. I'm connected. Arm's connected to the body's connected to the earth, and my mind is focused on what I'm doing. Okay. Then when you block out and smack somebody, or you want to step out and drop a block on their arm, you about to dislocate their shoulder. I guarantee you will hit hard, because you're not out of balance. Okay, you drop. Your body drops. Okay, so that's another one I'm going to show you. Okay, now there's going to be 4 of these. Okay, so we have this one, and then we have the squat. Okay, which teaches you how to throw correctly, and as well as gets the debris in your hips out, so you can kick harder and knee harder.
Excuse me, Ted. Did you say there was 2 variations of that?
Oh, yeah.
One hard
Yeah.
one?
Well,
Before you go on, I'm sorry.
You won't like this one. It's tough to do. I'll show you. If anybody can do it, I'll give you $5 right off.
All right.
Of course, you got to do it right, in my opinion. Okay, watch it. Goes like this. So this is what's really good for your neck. Okay, it's for fighting, because your body moves and your head doesn't. You always set your eye on the guy all the time. You're watching. This is what this teaches you. Already can do this one. It's going to be classic well. But that's teaching you is blocking up and blocking down. Again, arm connected to the body to the earth. When you're blocking that way or you're hammering, that emphasizes even more. But it's real good for your neck and real good for you to keep your head looking straight ahead as your body turns around. You really want to learn this one?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it this way. Let's go. We raise our hands up. Okay. Okay, go slow. We're going to turn to the left. Don't worry about your head. Turn to the left. Let the left hand back behind you like you got a big, huge beach ball. Let them down to your side. Turn to the right. Pick them up. Go back to the front. Stop. Turn to the right. Let them down. Turn to the left. Pick them up. Go back to the front. Stop. Turn to the left. Let them down. Turn to the right. Pick them up. Go back to the front and stop. See, you're going back where you left. You just left the right, so you go back there. Turn to your left. Pick them up. Go back to the front. Stop. And where'd you just come from? Was the left. So you go back to the left. Turn to the right. Pick them up. Get back. You've got to do it real slow until you get the speed. The speed has to come with you knowing what you're doing. And you'll feel real uncoordinated. Everybody. I haven't seen anybody talk to you. Well, you should have seen what Tim taught us when Juan was down there. There was like 15 masters of Kung Fu in this room, and none of us could do this. We're all looking pretty goofy. We got it, short.
Come on,
Take
Ted, one more
couple
time.
days.
And one more time. One more time.
Part out of that.
So it's all the better for you guys to encourage yourselves and your friends that come to the next seminar. Will be more. Okay, anyway, you can do one-handed too, okay? Let's do it one-handed. Put your hand on your stomach and do this. Like 5 times one way and then stop and do it the other way, okay? Keep your head looking straight ahead, okay? So you're still doing the motion, okay? It's not as complex. Now put your right hand on your stomach. Do the left hand. Go back, okay? Okay, stop and do it the other way. Keep your head looking straight ahead. See how your neck and your body move? Right. Any martial exercise you're going to do to help develop your, so say your internal powers or your powers of striking, hitting harder, first you must open your gates before any of them will do you any good. These are the warm-ups that will apply to pretty much anything. If you do these, it'll be much better. See, you're going to do these and then work out. Do these and then do your form. You will start becoming stronger. You'll becoming more centered. You'll start understanding where these secrets that these various Asian masters have. They're not really secrets. It's just using what you have. Do the MacGyver thing, okay? Use what you have and make it work, okay? Okay, now, for our throws, whenever you throw anybody, it's the idea of, you always step and you pick them up. You're basically in this position, right? You back slightly, tilt forward. You want to imagine you're up in a tree, 100 feet off the ground. You're going to stand on a branch, and you've got a 100-pound backpack on. And you know if you squat straight down like this, you're going to fall out. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our feet here, like the hands are hip. Turn your left foot like this, put on the heel, then move this. Shift your weight to that leg. Now turn your right heel and turn the ball. Now, you're in this position, right? And your crotch is opened up, okay? Now, you put your hands not on the knees, okay, but against, I'm sorry, put them here. This put them here. Okay, now what we're going to do, we're going to squat down and lean forward. Come back up. And don't lock your knees, and never stop. As soon as you're down, you're up, and as soon as you're up, you're going down, okay? Now here's an exercise I'll show you in addition to this that will help you understand it better. Watch it from the side. Don't go like this. See, I'm going straight up and down. I'm going to fall. So I have to bend slightly. In other words, I'm bending slightly so my torso, my main weight of my body, is over my legs. If I'm like this, it's on the heels. I'm ready to do this. You don't want that when you're throwing people or doing anything in the air. If you're bending down to hit somebody, you don't want to go like this, do you? You go like this. You're strong. When you bend over, you're very powerful. So when you squat, you've got to squat down and go forward like this slightly. See? Now feel yourself very stable right here, see? Now you come back up, you slightly stand, still not straight, then down. Now you can do this with your hands. This is to help people. Kick your hands up, like this. Now go down. Now pick them up. See? And you feel real flowing with this way. So then forward a little, go down, never stop. As soon as you're up, you're going down. As soon as you're down, you're going up. Nice and slow. Keep it then forward. Not so much. Not there, not so much forward. There. Try a little less. There, how's that feel? See? Tune into what you feel like, okay? Bend forward a little more. Bend forward a little tiny more. There. Don't bend so much. Good. Now feel those legs? Great. Think about your feet too, that they're nice and stable as you do this, okay? Now you come back up, okay? When you come back up, try this. Turn your foot and use this leg to make it work hard to bring this other leg in, as if you're up against the wall. That's what's going to help your kicks, your knees and everything else. So if you go to each practice different sides to go to when you're doing it, you go to the right and then try the left. When you come back, you try a different leg. So I turn that foot, I go like this, I make I'm up against the wall right now. And this leg has to bring this one in. See, I don't go like this. That's why you see the guys do stances like this is wrong. They do stances like that. You should do stances like this. You turn, you're always in balance with yourself. Okay? You turn, you drop, you step, you shift, you kick. You're here, you're here. His legs get strong. They become like trees, rooted in the ground. How are you going to kick hard, knee hard, side kick hard, slap kick hard? It all comes from this other leg. It's on the ground, it has to be on the ground better. Okay, you kick hard, you kick harder, to block better. So you guys practice it right here, the little thing of closing. There it is, it's set. So I got to get this over without shifting my body. I make it work. Okay? Now you can do that just practicing your full stance. Go back and forth a few times and sense it. Okay? Why don't you try that, okay? You get in a full stance and you're done. You turn one foot straight, shift just a bit, and it'll make the leg work really hard to get to the foot. You see how that leg's working? The one you're standing on that's having to pull you over? See guys, your feet are out, right? Turn one foot in. Now that's the side I'm going to. I shift just enough with my shoulders over that foot, and I pull that other leg. So this leg has to work hard to get me with it. Now when you're kicking, you'll be aware. Go, God, that's right. I'm so solid with that leg. I can kick so hard because it's so hooked into the ground like a cat's claws. Okay? All right, let's go over again. So we start. The most important part, of course, would be to stand. By standing, you prepare yourself, and you also get tuned in to gravity. Get your head tuned in to lifting like it should, even when you're driving a car. See people drive a car like this, without a balance. Even when you're sitting, be in balance. Okay? So your head's up, your shoulders are down. Open your hands. You're standing on your bones. Okay? Then you unbend. And this is one point with you. When you're in fighting, you're doing a lot of moving and tossing. This will train your eyes. Look at everything and don't stop and look at nothing. So watch my eyes. Focus on everything, or don't stop and look at anything. It prepares you for being tossed and moved. Your nose is pretty much in line with your navel. Okay? If you do this a little harder, these arms, these wrists will hit your kidneys, and it's good vibration for your kidneys, and you want to do a little firmer. But it's only occasionally you want to do that. Get them too healthy, they're not falling down. Okay, now the next one. And we start like this. Thinking all the time about our standing, rooted with gravity. Head floating up. Shoulders relaxed. Let them free fall with gravity. When you pick them up, you let them fall. But they're not limp.
You're not throwing them, you're just letting them
Let them fall. Let them fall. Let them fall. So you feel how heavy they are. They're connected, but they're very heavy. They will really, listen, don't bend your elbows. Don't do it sectionally. Let it fall like a flow.
Bending your knees and all at the downstroke for dropping your own weight.
No.
Just not.
No, you'll do that when you're, I'm going to show you that one just a minute. Okay, we got that one, then we do the squat. I think you guys pretty much understand that. Now, what's that little trick? How are you going to use your weight? How do they hang anybody? They use their weight. Okay? And usually it's you does a pretty good job. You hang somebody, you take off their support, and their weight drops, right? Now, how do you want to block harder? How do you want to hit harder? Any kind of a down motion, okay? Artie can use it. So Artie was down this side, okay? Can you throw me this one? Okay? So that's my body is dropping just a little. So what he gets is every pound that I have on his arm. Okay? Very similar to the push. Every pound I have horizontally, every pound I have going down. And it will hurt. You drop a tremendous amount of power. And you guys really want to feel, I'll show you. But if you're going to do this, like a technique like this, I went here and I take him in the spleen and I take him over and I hammer like that across your neck, I could kill you real easy. It's a lot of force because your body's dropping. Now how do you get that drop thing? Okay? How do you drop with that? Well, you practice this one. Now this one, what it does is it strengthens every cell in your body. It moves, helps your lymph system move. It boosts up your immune system, okay? And martially, it gives you the ability to drop your power on somebody. It's simple, little tiny movement of your body. Whether it's a down block, or you got the guy here, and you punch him, or you go for his bladder with a punch, you're dropping your body just a little. Now, when you do this, this takes away the tension in your shoulders also. What the Chinese say is doing is like sifting sand around. What you're doing is you're kind of balancing the energies in your body that you have got worked up by what you just did. You want to get them so they're kind of balanced all over your system. Okay? And you do the jump, it's like a trampoline. One guy was, quick story, this guy was an astronaut. What we call a partial astronaut. I guess he either didn't go up or did go up. But to keep their body strong, in the old days, they used to work on a trampoline because it would jar the system. And his kids used to jump on the trampoline in the backyard for 3 or 4 or 5 years. And one day at school, the girl was probably about 8 and the boy was probably about 9, 10. Well, they had a push-up, sit-up contest. And they both won. Yet they never do push-ups or sit-ups. Got this guy thinking, and he related it to the trampoline. That the trampoline builds strength. That every cell in your body, you're suspended. You're weightless for a second, and then you come back down and drop. It jars them, makes them hang on, causes movement in your body. If you're sick in a hospital, they call a masseur or a masseusen to massage you, get your lymph system moving, get your fluids to move in your body. When you guys do Kung Fu, you're doing that for your health. You move around so much, you're not going to learn how to fight. You're doing a lot of health for your body and your mind. Now this, finishing exercise, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to jump, and then we're done. We want to stand with the eyes closed and focus on posture and gravity and relaxation of the arms and shoulders. Then your subconscious mind remembering it. When you walk like that, you work out like that, you do form like that. Then you get left. So we're going to jump. We're not going to leave the ground with the balls of our feet. We're not going to hit our heels, and we're not going to press with our toes. If you understand all that, you shouldn't be able to do it.
How are you going to jump though?
Well, it's hard at first because you'll be doing this. You don't do that. If you press with your toes, you'll be pushing yourself off balance. So basically, you've got to tune yourself up to get the most out of it, again, to be lined up with gravity. So when you get tuned into gravity, whenever you move and drop, you drop in a direct straight line. So every pound of your body maximizes the power of what you're trying to do. So it looks like this. And you stay centered. You did. you get enough of this, you do it with your eyes closed. You stay right in line. Whenever you move down, up, you're in line. Don't let your heels hit. Let your heels gently touch the fuzz of the rug. But you've got to drop enough where it jars your body, but your feet don't leave the ground. This will give you energy. If ever you feel sluggish, whatever, you do this for a couple minutes, your feet will share. You'll get a lot of energy there. Then you're more supported. Okay? Bring your heels off the ground. See the feet? You jump. Okay? And you can feel it. It jars every cell in your body. Okay? You're looking good, guys. All right. Bring your heels up higher. There. Go and hip. Feel that? You're jarring?
Yeah.
You get this action. Like this.
Go on, hip too.
Yeah, really shake your body up, okay?
Like shaking your
Right. Okay, if you do about 50 of these and up, now let's stand, okay? Stand up straight and don't lock your knees back and your head's floating up. Now be aware of what you feel like right now. The tingling, the energy, the circulation, okay? Right. Very, very healthy for you, okay? And martially very good. I usually stand for about a minute or so. What it is, you're trying to memorize it. You're trying to notice it. You're trying to reflect on what you did so it is worth more. Okay? And it helps, of course, your eyes are closed, you'll go inward with your eyes closed. Your eyes are open, you'll be thinking about what you see. Great. Let's try this again. Just follow me through these motions and carry this idea being straight. Let's say the guy throws a left punch, and we block. And we step in here and we push him, okay? Just to be a passive fighter, let's say. So we go one, we step, we push. Now see what we did here? See how this leg carried us? It was a very powerful leg. So we stepped and locked ourselves down, we blocked him. Now we turn up, see right there, see that leg is carrying you? Now you sink and push, and the knee does not pass the toes. You're always supported well and within gravity. Okay. All the techniques you guys do is that way. Now if we go to the left and we turn and we drop our weight a bit and do a down block, which we all do. We step and get out of the way. Maybe he's got the knife coming at us or a club or whatever. Down. You say you used your weight, and your weight was connected with your arm, it's going to hit him a lot. Okay. So you've got to get it all connected. And it'll make more sense. You got to step though. You got to get out of the way. You got to push over, drop, and even slide a bit to get out of the way more. Okay, great, looking good, right? When you guys block, you don't want to do this. You don't have to never leave your elbows too far from your body. All you got to do is that. You might do this. If I do this, you still stay pretty close. You don't get yourself too high away from yourself. If you go down here, if you go up here, see the arms still stay pretty close. They can do all their work, because my work is only done by this area here. I don't care anything else beyond that. It's just me I'm concerned with. Okay? Okay? So like that block, one, down. So if I step in here, one, and I do whatever I want to do from there. One, hit, one, boom, hit it. Your ankle. Okay. All right, any questions on that? Okay, one final thing you guys do here, for exercises. What I'm going to do for developing the strength in your block and wrist strength and develop a confidence builder for you is to practice what I teach in my class. It's called the crow. Okay, it's a posture. And there's many things you can do from the crow to strengthen your upper body, your back, your stomach, and your hips. Okay, and all you need is a floor space. Okay, that's a lot of fun to do. Like you can do, this is called crow when you sit down here. When you sit like this, you're developing your balls of your feet for your ball kicks you do when you fight barefoot. When you do the crow, you do this right here. You balance on your hands. It's a nice simple way to get your wrist strong. Okay? Whenever you do palming, basically you palm with what's called the pisiform bone, which is one of your 8 carpals. When you hit people, it's usually the spot here that really hits them, and all the rest of it is kind of accessories. But that's what really hits him. When I hit him, that's what I hit him with. It's this right here. So when you're on the ground, you get to feel better for proper palming. Okay? Now, you can take your legs up different ways off this stuff. But notice how your arms are, like you fight. That's the beauty of it. It's the unbendable arm. This is an L. People can bend that. That's a V. It's pretty hard to bend that arm. It's called the unbendable arm because its strength is balanced and it's so strong. It's almost like it's got a bar of steel right here glued together to hold it. Okay? When you do the crow, you sit down put your hands down, you lean forward and you pick your feet up one at a time and just sit there and focus on relaxing. But see how your fingers are kind of gently holding your hand in the right place, but primarily the weight is on the palm, on that same kind of L area here. It should, when you get good at it, it'll be very easy.
You have it in the wrist.
Get a bad wrist?
Yeah, it's right there. I should do this more, huh?
Well, it really shouldn't put a lot of stress on your wrist because your wrist isn't bent that much there and it's not, really pushed back a lot. Okay, did you get that one? It's a fun exercise. Be sure to breathe when you're down there, okay? Then you can get pretty good at this. You can do this one. You sit here. Okay, you do balance. Then you work your arm strength. All that pushing and palming you give people all is better when you do this because you're working those muscles that do that. Okay? Okay, take your legs out, put them in the center, and then put them back. Okay? Now, it's hard for me to teach this to you guys because this is a progressive kind of stuff, and I'm just trying to let you know that there is more. So if you was interested in doing more, I would give you something to work on. Okay? Okay? Okay, you guys do Chinese push-ups, right? You're doing Kung Fu San Soo, you should all know Chinese push-ups, and you should all practice them. They develop a lot of upper body strength. You step under and palm somebody up, and you do these or whatever, they make you strong, real strong at stairs. They also stretch your hamstrings, okay? But these are done, this is called Chinese push-ups. You get down here, we go 1, 2, 3, so we do 4 hands, we keep our heels on the ground so we touch our nose, and then come back there. Okay? Chinese push-ups will work your triceps real good, your upper body strength. Okay? So you can go out, whatever hand you want.
Keep you together or slightly apart?
About like that. And down. Yeah. Just walk out, say 6 hands should be it. Put your make a triangle out of your fingers. Try to touch your nose and try to keep your heels down every time you do it. Yeah. Chinese push-ups, you guys study Chinese art, you should know these. And you keep working, find out how many hands out you do then, and keep working back a hand every month and a half until you can get back to do, say, 3 hands. Then you keep yourself nice and limber and you keep yourself strong.
Can you do one more time, please?
Huh?
Can you just do one more time?
Okay.
Your feet are flat on the ground, aren't they?
Every time you do it, I can remember the days when people would touch the ground, but just keep working on it. Every time I'm figuring, I'm getting strong and I'm getting limber, so I'm doing 2 things at once. I'm supposed to keep those heels down.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on the elbows. Are you supposed to feel that, or am I doing it wrong? I feel a lot of pressure in my elbows.
You maybe shouldn't go as far out. How many hands you doing?
I think 6.
Right. 5.
Could be you have maybe a tendonitis or something. I don't know. Sounds like there's something really wrong with your elbow. Okay. You guys like that? Okay, when you're done with that, do this stretching thing. This is a good morning thing. Okay, go like this. Put your feet like this, okay? Now, you get dizzy on this one, so you gotta be careful. It's a real beautiful stretch for the front of your body. And if you do push-ups like that, you don't want to be built like this, right? So if you stretch yourself back, good morning, you go like this. That's a beautiful stretch, real simple. You gotta stretch the whole front of your body. That's it. Good. Then come back and exhale. Feel that? Sometimes you play with the angle of your hands. I find right about like this feels good. This is a little different. Doesn't quite stretch the front as much as this does. This is different too. But you might like this one. I think this is the best right here. Sticking out like a big V. Yeah. Nice stretch.
Did you pause back there, or did you just come right back?
Yeah, you pause. Stretch back. Stretch. Feels good. Okay, let me see. You guys can sit down. You know how when you guys move, every time you move, you be aware of how you move. This is another way you can sit down. And the same way you get up. Okay? Getting down and getting up. You should, Kung Fu guys, you should be real aware of how you get up and how you get down. So you're not caught off guard. When you're working out, somebody knocks you down, they're done with you. Think about how you're getting up. And always think that the guy you're working with is out to get you. He is out to get you if he's a good workout partner. So when he's done working, he starts to stand up. Still in your mind, he's going to hurt me. He's going to try to hurt me. Here's a story for you. I was, what was this, about a year before Jimmy died. You know, he has a TV right here over the Coke machine and stuff, right? And classes up there working out. And I'm standing here, I'm kind of watching this, and he's talking to somebody. I don't know who he's talking to. He's standing right here by me. When I'm facing the TV, he's like an angle facing half to the studio and partially to me. Okay? To show you the subconscious stuff. So I'm sitting here watching TV. You know, you watch TV and you're thinking about things. I'm listening to him, watching TV and thinking. So I'm confused. But, so he, and all of a sudden he says something. It makes my mind click. It's something I need to ask him. I go, Jimmy. He goes, yes. Automatic. He took a step away and raised his hand very calmly and said, yes. Then I think I forgot what I was going to ask him. I was so impressed by, just like a cat, there's like an imaginary stick was between me and him. And when I moved, he instantly moved at the same exact time. There's no way in the world I could even have touched him. Okay? So, when you guys are working out, and you walk in the studio and you do this, I recommend in my studio we do this. I don't like this haphazard crap. People just walk in, hey, let's work out, and this and that. Order. You got some order, but it's not like a karate studio. But you guys come in, you stretch out, and you're ready. Okay, let's go. Work out. This means I'm ready for you, and you're ready for me, and we're training. Okay? I respect you. You treat me right. Don't hurt my body. I'm not going to hurt you. All these things go through your mind when you do this. You're doing Kung Fu. I'm doing this for me, and I hope that you're doing it for you. Not the false you, but the real you. Okay? Don't come in here to show off with your stuff. Kung Fu isn't meant for that. This is not entertainment, guy. This is training. I'm training because my ass may be on the line someday out there. I may be in a fight to survive my death or my life, and I want you to help me with that. That's the whole idea why you do this. Salute. When I'm done, thanks for the workout. Or you start beating me up in the workout. I don't walk away like a little kid. I go, hey, thanks for the workout. And I say it to you, and I really mean it. At the same time, I'm mad at you. And I'll go and sit down, have a drink of water. I'm not going to carry with me, but I am mad at you for working my body too hard. I wonder, why can't you do that right? But I'm not being, in a sense, not judgmental. But I am mad at you. But I still have enough strength in myself to see what you're saying. Take a break. Take a break. I'll try and talk to you later about it, or I'll talk to my instructor about it, or whatever. Okay? That way you guys are using all these rough and bad experiences to help yourself live the right road, walk the right road, and live the right life. Try to grow. Try to learn something. Try to apply yourself. And don't be caught up with your emotions. Emotions haven't got any brains. Anger has no brains. Okay? Fear has no brains. Fear and anger are pretty close friends. Okay? You don't want neither one of those in your life. Anger is not aggression. Controlled aggression is what you want. When somebody is going to try to jump you or whatever it is, you want to be able to turn on like a Wolverine and tear that guy out a new one. Okay? In your mind, you do that 100%. No hesitation. That's the way your mind has to think. That's why your training has to be done that way. Your mind is directing your body. Okay? Your body is following through. You are, what's that, kinesthetic training. There's 3 ways that we learn: visual, audio, and our muscles remember things. You remember these things. Jimmy, doing this, his whole body knew that. Somebody's coming in, I move. Consciously, he probably didn't think that, but his subconscious did, because that's the way he's trained. Now, we wouldn't even be here today if there wasn't a compassionate man on a certain beach on a certain day, and Jimmy got smacked over the back of the head with a pipe. So, if you throw a smile at somebody someday, you say hello to somebody, you help somebody with something, open a door for somebody, don't beat up a skinhead for some reason, walk away. Whatever it is you do that's good, you're doing good. Remember that good does much more than a bad would do. Good is like when I holler and the sound waves go and go and go. And the bad is like I'm talking into a pillow. This is going anywhere. So the good things you do, you may not see the results, and it doesn't matter. You should give that as a free thing. Okay? You have no ownership over it. It's something you should all possess and develop. Okay? But without the details on this story, Jimmy was on a pier at a beach, I think it was Hawaii, and it was somebody that he had beat up recently, came up behind him and hit him over the head and knocked him in the brink in the water. There was somebody else there, only one other person there, as I understand the story goes, who pulled him out. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here today. We've been beyond this discovery path and this martial art world and getting ourselves, in other ways of living, other ways of understanding, and so on. But you can all contribute back to the efforts and the energy that was put into it. And one man, okay? And don't ever forget Jimmy Wu. Don't forget what he did for this art. And don't ever argue with anybody about San Soo. Well, if somebody argues with you about San Soo and they don't do Kung Fu San Soo, you're a fool. Argue with somebody about Kung Fu San Soo. You're going to defend Kung Fu San Soo against somebody who doesn't even know about it. He's over here yakking about his, I'll say some other style he's talking about, and you're going to defend San Soo against that? You waste your time. Why you argue with a man who believes in what he believes in? You can debate it. You can say, well, we have this and what do you have? That's fine. Don't argue with anybody about it. You have no reason to defend Kung Fu San Soo. It doesn't need any defending. It is what it is. Oh, I think Jiu-Jitsu's better. Gonna fight 2 guys? 3 guys? We don't fight by rules? It's a little different. This art is different. This is not a sport. Jiu-Jitsu has good things in it. I got an open mind. I'll take the good things. I'm not going to be a fool and say, that stuff's not good. That's a sport. They wrestle on the ground. Stupid. No way. I pick up some lessons from there. I think about it. But how am I going to fight as a fighter? I'm going to fight like a Kung Fu San Soo man, because that's what I am. I'm an American and I'm in China. My heart is still in America. I'm an American, 100%. I go anywhere in the world, but I'm nothing else but an American. I'm a Kung Fu San Soo man. I know a little Tai Chi. I know a little brocade that Tim brought back from China, a little True Balance, I know a little Jiu-Jitsu. My heart is in Kung Fu San Soo. That's 90% of the way I'm going to fight. If some grappler gets a hold of me, I will use those techniques that I learned. Maybe Kung Fu San Soo doesn't have those in it. That doesn't lessen Kung Fu San Soo 1 iota. Period. It doesn't. Does anybody in the world know everything? No. Does the world know everything? No. So how we better open up our minds and realize we're all on this planet together, and we've got to learn to share and to agree with some things, and don't battle about this and this issue and that issue. Iranians and the Iraqis, same people, killing each other because of different belief in their whatever. It doesn't make any sense. So at Kung Fu San Soo, you should have an open mind because it is an open art. It's the ground basis that this art has influenced so many styles in the world. It's the granddaddy, and you should give it credit for that. Then when they talk to you about, well, this, I think my style is better than yours, and you look at them knowing that this art probably directly or indirectly influenced what they're doing, you go, yeah, I think that's good for you. You're doing good. You walk away like the wise man because you know a little bit more. There's no reason to be arrogant about it, okay? You try to be compassionate, try to be understanding, and try not to, be the powerhouse. If you don't know everything, neither does he. You're in the world like anybody else. Okay? I tell you, you keep on the road and keep helping each other and keep understanding. Studying Kung Fu San Soo or studying any style takes a lot of determination and a lot of thinking. Why do you do it? I just do it. I like it. That's that. I don't have to have a lot of reasons. I do it because I like it and I like the people I see. Okay? I like what it does for me. I'm not afraid of nobody. Okay? Also, I don't fight. I do my best not to. But if I do it the Kung Fu San Soo way. No rules. I fight my way. Unfair, I don't care if you don't like me. Go think I'm a nice guy because I pull somebody's hair. I'll pull their hair. I'll bite them in the nuts if I have to. I'll do anything to win. Not because winning's so good, but because losing's not good. Losing's not what I want. Okay? And what you fight for is a very important issue you have to think about. Don't fight over you look at somebody, okay? Or you bump into somebody. He bumps into you and say, what are you doing? And he bumped into you and say, I'm sorry. Walk away. You see it all the time. You see it in movies all the time. The strongest one is the one that's the quietest one. The ones that lets lets people push them a bit. But don't push me too far. You don't know when I'm going to explode, and when I do, it's going to be over before you even know it started. That's the way you should fight. Be aggressive when you have to be. Have speed on your side. Don't ever be caught off guard. Generals are forgiven for losing battles. They are never forgiven for being taken by surprise. So you guys would be aware, you walk around corners, and just like Dr. Jimmy again, you're aware. Your side vision works. Your ears work. That gut feeling inside you. The guy behind me, something about him. I think I'll take a step over this way, and I'll look this way so I can watch him over here. But I don't turn around and watch him this way. I don't want him to know that I know. Okay? I don't want to waste that much energy on him anyway. It doesn't take that much. 10% is enough. I look over here, I watch him. I'm thinking about something, I'm reading something. Almost 100% of my mind's on this guy. There's no way in the world he's going to take me by surprise. Okay? So you think about that. Keep those things in your mind when you train. Okay? And keep digging for more information. Keep your ears open and your eyes looking. If you ask somebody, if somebody does a technique, don't say, hey, show me how you do that. Don't do that. You say, hey, show me how you did that. I got a brain. I got 2 eyes. I can see. I can figure it out. But I have to ask you to show me how you did that. Not to show me how to do it. You understand? How you talk, it's a lot to do with how you believe in yourself. You've got to find that balance. You can't be too strong and you can't be too weak. In your life, you go like this, you bounce around. Okay? You keep learning lessons each time you bounce here and here pretty soon. As you get older, you start getting balanced. Hopefully it doesn't happen before you're 85. That's why you get started on early. Okay? Okay, if anybody have any questions, I think I've covered my time, and if anything else you want to ask me about, or
I'm not sure if you did want to get a question about this exercise. How often do you do every day?
I usually try doing the days that I train, but not necessarily every day. You got to take a rest even off the things you love. That's important. You know, the absence helps the heart grow fonder type thing. Okay? You take a break and go back. You're thirsty for it, but it gives it time to settle into you. Unless you feel like what you feel like, when you don't do it. Okay? No, do it. You can train 3 or 4 days a week. That should be enough. Do other exercises. Do other things on those days you're off. Going for walks, bicycle riding, relaxing. Hippocrates, the father of medicine, said that doing nothing is good for you. Doing nothing, not being a couch potato, that's a habit. But occasionally, rest. Do nothing. Just let your nervous system rest. You see older people. Why are they old? Why are they feeble like that? It's their lifestyle they lived all their life. Take breaks. Eat good food. Drink enough water. When you go to bed, forget the day. Massage your feet, your hands. Sleep like a baby. Jimmy said his head put that pillow. He forgot everything. He teaches exercises. One lift your head up and hold it. Lift your head up and hold it. And then turn over. Lift your head up and hold it. And then, boom, you go to sleep. Because I don't know why. Something about the neck and whatever. But if you do, you go right to sleep. Sleeping is an art. It's a third of your life. You must pay attention to sleeping. And you cannot carry anything to bed with you. You think you're going to get it figured out. What you do is you say to yourself, okay, I need this problem figured out. Expect an answer in the morning. Who are you talking to? Your subconscious mind. Okay? And it will think about it all night while you dream about whatever you want. Use your body the way it needs to be used. It's there for you to use. It wants to be used. It doesn't want to be ignored. Your body, it wants to move. Right? Why's it got all these joints? Why's it got 19 joints in the fingers? Why's it got 26 bones in the feet? It wants to move. It wants to exercise. It wants to get around. What do you got a brain up here? It wants to be used too. It wants to work with the body. The body wants to work with the brain. They're partners. Okay? So you got to use these things, and so they won't just, sit there and okay? So you got to apply yourself. That's another beauty about Kung Fu San Soo. Then it opens so many doors to you to find out who you are, where you're going, what you want. And you're on the road. You got energy. Your body's clean. Your muscles exercise. Your blood's clean. Your mind is focused. You feel strong about yourself. You're not stressed at all. You're having fun. Okay? Life is fun. The movie Michael, that's life. Music, dance, fun. Enjoy it. Human beings are naturally supposed to be happy. Okay? Naturally. But why are we unhappy sometimes? I want this. If I had that, I'd be happy. If you had that, you wouldn't be happy, you fool. Then you want that. When you get that, you wouldn't be happy because you're not happy. You got to be happy with nothing, then you're happy. Okay? And sometimes you guys get knocked down the bottom of the bucket, and you look up and see where you were and how you were complaining. You go, oh boy, I got something to learn. So when you get back up there and things are going good, just be ready. When things are going good, expect a disaster. what's that saying? Plan for the worst, but expect the best, and you're okay. It's all on the outside. Just don't take it to bed. Okay.
Great job.
Thank you. Excellent. Thank you.
Thanks, Ted.
All right.
That's great, man. You got me psyched up.
All right.
흥이라니? 저 사람 저 흥에 대해서는 강체 마음씨